Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, investigation on tenants' alleged involvement in police attack completed. FEO slams recent public forum as lost opportunity. And PM calls on parents to focus on children's education.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Amrita Sagar.
The Public Rental Board has completed its own investigation into a police attack incident that allegedly involved 6 of their tenants living at the Nambour Mid Road housing 2 weeks ago. PRB has confirmed to FBC News the outcome of their investigation will be presented to the PRB Committee for thorough scrutiny before a final decision will be made. Savar Tambor reports.
Tenants living in PRB flats around the country are reminded to thoroughly understand the tenancy agreement because if a family member breaches a condition, then in a worst-case scenario may result in eviction.
It's spelled out clearly in the tenancy agreement that even visitors to a particular flat, to a particular tenant, that does not stop us in taking action. If, say, visitors visit and then something happens which is quite serious, breach of tenancy, we action according to the tenancy.
Tenants of other PRB flats have also shared their views on actions that should be taken against those that breach the tenancy agreement.
I believe those who are causing trouble in the PRB flats should be evacuated because we have families and children and there's a risk to our families.
It's better to only punish the one who's involved and not the whole family.
I believe everybody should be given a second chance.
The Public Rental Board says this is a very serious matter as it involved an attack against police officers and police property, which should serve as a warning to other would-be offenders living in PRB flats. Sabaira Tambua, FBC News.
Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Saneem has labelled the forum held by the 6 political parties as a lost opportunity in which the Fijian Elections Office would have provided clarity there and then. Saneem says it's unfortunate that a number of legal misrepresentations and blatant incorrect information was shared and publicly disseminated. Maggie Boyle reports.
Clearing up the misinformation, the Fijian Elections Office has set the record straight.
Deceptive conduct still exists, particularly in terms of leaders of political parties and people who had prominent positions previously.
Saneem says a number of unsubstantiated claims were made at the public forum.
It's most unlikely that we will have an even playing field for the next election. We want a fair terms of reference, not one which is loaded in favor of the ruling party.
There were also issues raised on the return of a communal system.
We need to talk on that, along those lines, because the values, as I've said, I'll say it again, is different, is very different from mine.
It was noted that some attempts were made to once again segregate various sectors of community, which once again risks segregation into minorities and along communal lines. The 2013 Constitution has created a single national constituency in Fiji and a common voters register.
The supervisor has maintained their processes are transparent and in accordance with the electoral law. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The FRCS has expelled a renowned automotive company from its Gold Card Services program for abuse and non-compliance to customs laws on numerous occasions. The company breached Section 137 of the Customs Act of 1986 for failing to adjust the price of vehicle parts to reflect the import duty reduction granted by the government to be made affordable for Fijians. However, the duty reductions were not passed down to the consumers. FRCS Chief Executive Officer Vishwanath Das says audit and investigations into the business affairs of the company brought to light 2 instances of abuse of duty concessions wherein duty concessions were applied but the product delivered to a non-concessionaire. Due Duty reductions were also not reflected in the pricing of the products, attracting a fine of $100,000 and 3 separate instances of tariff misclassification to minimize duty liability. Parents and guardians of Natavea village in Naitasiri have been advised not to take education lightly and ensure their children are sent to school. While holding a Talanoa session during his first visit to the village yesterday, Prime Minister Varenga Bainimarama says it has taken a few years to reform the education sector to achieve a knowledgeable society. Akusita Tale has more.
They are the future of our nation and they're every parent's first priority, to raise them well and ensure they receive the best education.
When they grow up, they can become policemen, military officers, pilots, and even deliver a speech here as a prime minister. But it all starts from home with you parents and how you raise your child. So don't take things lightly. Look after them well so they can have a bright future ahead of them.
The Prime Minister says there should be no room for complaints as they've brought about the best education system.
We have provided free education for our children, given scholarships, built new schools and even renovated old ones. We have even started to build quarters for teachers because I've always highlighted that it's no use to go ahead building schools when the teachers are not provided quality teaching resources.
The Prime Minister has urged parents to be more involved in their children's education, with the government allocating $1 billion into the education sector. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Still to come, more than 30 bags of rubbish collected at festival. And farmers urged to prepare land and wait for rainy season. Details after the break.
Bula, nevang go malakai leloma, ngongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM, namban dua na sere.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa, ya untuk talita ina warong ng Bula FM, namban dua na sere.
Gue ada tumeli, aku na tau no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, namban dua na sere.
Wana tunga ng Bula FM, namban dua na sere nawaluan.
Nevang go fani na tau no singa toka, kita untuk talita kana Bula FM, namban dua na sere.
Bula FM, namban dua na sere.
Korean police remain in Fiji as they continue to investigate allegations of assault and confinement by the Grace Road Church founder Shin Ok-ju, who was arrested last month in South Korea. FBC News understands 6 senior members of the church were detained last week and they were interrogated by Korean police before being subsequently released. Immigration Director Nemani Vuniwanga says the Korean police have more than likely come in on a 14-day permit, which can be extended if necessary. It's now being reported that Korean and Fijian police will question each of the Grace Road Church followers who are Korean nationals to ascertain whether or not they want to return to South Korea. The Grace Road Church founder is alleged to have held around 400 of the church's followers against their will in Fiji, seizing their passports and exposing them to bloody rituals. A group of volunteers organised by the Japan International Cooperation Agency gathered at the Valelevo grounds in Nasinu to clean up rubbish left behind by people at the Hibiscus Festival. Organiser Rina Kurimasawa says people are ignorant and continue to litter. However, this initiative hopes to raise more awareness about keeping the environment clean. Catherine Krishna was part of the cleanup and files this report.
More than 30 garbage bags filled with rubbish was collected by more than 10 JICA volunteers and 10 locals at the festival within 2 hours.
We can see some littering at the festival, even though the theme is 5R relating to environment. And plus, JICA has been working with Fiji government for quite a long time, about 20 years, through the technical cooperation and also the dispatching volunteers. So we have strong will to support Fiji.
Volunteers from JICA say they are disappointed with people's actions despite the theme of the festival focusing on the 5 R's: refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose and recycle.
I try to contribute the community activities, especially cleanups.
I see a lot of garbage in the throwing out, not in the rubbish bin, but somewhere around the city. So I wanted to clean up and show people that cleanliness is better.
Just want to join them because to keep Fiji clean.
in this holiday, I help these people to clean up the ground.
JICA says they will gather more volunteers and organize similar cleanups in other festivals to raise awareness on the need to dispose rubbish properly. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
Cane farmers around the country are advised to begin preparing the land for the second window of cane planting, which is expected to begin next month. Catherine Krishna reports the long dry spell that has been affecting farms has hampered farmers to plant cane as they're finding it hard to plough the land.
The Fiji Sugar Corporation is calling on farmers to prepare their land now and begin planting when the wet season kicks in from next month.
Planting at the moment is not happening, but it is a very good time for land preparation. We've got FSC tractors, there's a lot of tractors out there, so I'd encourage people to start looking at land preparation whilst it's dry.
Sugarcane Growers Council Chief Executive Sundaresh Chetty says once the land is prepared and ready, farmers can apply for the cane planting grant scheme.
Sugarcane Growers Council is urging growers to take advantage of the government grant available and immediately commence land preparation in advance and be ready for planting when the weather gets favorable.
The government in 2018-2019 financial year allocated $15.4 million for cane development together with several other programs for the sugar industry. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
The Methodist Church has been able to collect $500,000 by Thursday in an aim to try and collect $1.5 million at this year's annual conference. Acting General Secretary of the Church, Reverend Jeremiah Wangainambete, has faith the church will achieve its targeted amount, given the number of local and overseas choir groups participating. With the festival ending tonight, Wangainambete thanked the church members for their support to raise the targeted amount.
We plan to try and capture the amount that we forecast, but the actual financial year ends up in April and May next year. So the amount that we collect will be divided into quarters for the projects that we have also set in our work plan.
Up ahead in sport, table tennis, Fiji scouts for young potentials. And bar midfielder captains Fiji women's soccer. Details after the break.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singatoka. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic.
Leading our sports tonight, it was a tough match between Lautoka and Ba as they drew 1-1 in the Vodafone Premier League match at Govind Park this afternoon. Ba Solawanga put the men in black into the lead in the second half before Lautoka's Kolinio Sivoki equalized the points for Lautoka with a penalty. Meanwhile, in other VPL matches tomorrow, Rewa plays Nandi at Prince Charles Park. Tavua will battle Suva and Gavi Park, while Ba will host Raketi at Govind Park. All the matches will be played at 3 p.m. Vodafone Fiji women's football team captain Sonali Rao is optimistic about the upcoming OFC Women's Nations Cup qualifier tournament at Lautoka's Churchill Park next week. The 20-year-old hopes to make the country proud with the huge responsibilities given to her. Stella Taoi with more.
Hard work and sacrifice hasn't been easy in the past 3 months of camp. However, Sonali Rao believes the team will do their best to win the tournament.
Away from home is hard for 3 months. We've sacrificed a lot. The officials have sacrificed. We have sacrificed. Believe we've trained hard enough to prepare for this tournament.
Rao says that despite the huge responsibility on her shoulder, the bar midfielder says they're ready for the challenge.
It's been an honor to represent my country in these upcoming games. I'm excited, the girls are excited, I believe we are ready for this.
Team coach Marika Rondo says this is the team's chance to prove their abilities in the region.
The personalities he has would allow us to really use her capabilities and her ability to communicate and lead from the back.
The qualifiers tournament will be held from August 27th to August 30th. Fiji will play against Vanuatu, Solomon Islands and American Samoa at the event. The winner qualifies for the OFC Women's Nations Cup in New Caledonia later in November. Snalataoi, FBC Sports.
Table tennis Fiji had its uprising and age group competitions yesterday at the Suva Gymnasium. This was an ideal place for selectors to spot young prospects as well as potential players for the 2019 Pacific Players. John Tambore with the details.
Tapping into the grassroots is important for the development of any sport, particularly a minor one like table tennis.
It's really important for Fiji table tennis because this is where we find new talents to actually groom and mold them to become future national representatives for Fiji.
10-year-old Emmy Chen, who has been the find of the tournament, says it'll be an honor to make it to the Fiji team.
I will be very happy with my family as well.
Development Officer Naisau has been overwhelmed with the turnout and interest of participants.
We've been really overwhelmed with the support from these kids and their families and their parents all throughout this 1 week. As soon as they come inside the hall, all they want to do is get on the table. They don't want to muck around, loiter around. Even when we tell them to go for lunch, they say no, we want to play.
Table tennis has become a leisure sport for many in the country, and organizers are calling on more people to try out for the national team. John Sabore, FBC Sports.
Melbourne Storm came away with a win over Parramatta Eels 20-4, but it came at a cost. The Storm lost 3 key players mid-match to injury, including Fiji Mbati star Suliasi Vunivalu in their NRL clash last night. The team were at one stage left with no reserves on their AMI Park bench, but turned in a gutsy defensive display to hold out the dangerous Eels. On to the Bledisloe Cup, and 15 years of failure only means the Wallabies sound like a broken record ahead of tonight's Cup opener in Sydney. The Wallabies have been saying all the right things, but this has all been heard before. Mostly cloudy periods with brief showers was experienced over the eastern parts and the interior of the larger islands today. Fine weather prevailed elsewhere. We take a look in the west. It was a sunny day for our westerners, with Singatoka recording the highest temperature at 31 degrees. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, it was a cloudy day with a cool breeze. Nosori was the coolest at 26 degrees. And up north, a breezy one, with showers also expected as per the forecast. Now at sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots and moderate to rough seas are expected. Now for the tides, high tide will be at 11:15 p.m. with low tide at 5:26 p.m. Sunrise will be at 6:24. As for tomorrow, similar conditions today will carry on tomorrow with sun in the west and cloudy conditions in the central and northern division. Looking further on to Monday, a mix of sun and showers kind of weather situation can be expected. Recapping the main stories, investigation on tenants' alleged involvement in police attack completed. FEO slams recent public forum as lost opportunity, and PM calls on parents to focus on children's education. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM, to a poll question segment. This week, we're asking, is race-based campaigning becoming a concern for Fijians? Visit our FBC website to answer. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. Until next time, good night.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.